what is publicly known. Not necessary that it has to be documented. Maybe something, if somebody can actually say that it was there over the radio or on TV, even that becomes prior art. And then invention may be patentable only if it is differentiating from the prior art and it is not an obvious derivative. You know, some things are very obvious also to a layman. If A can happen, B also can happen. So the examiner, even if you file the patent, he will say that I am discounting this on account of obviousness. So there are three criteria: novelty, non-obviousness and application. So we have to be very careful about obviousness because anybody skilled in the art, you know, if you are, let's say, suppose there is something that in the mechanical area, if Dr. Rao is called by the patent office and he says that, yeah, if A is there as a technical expert, I can definitely anticipate B, then it becomes obvious and therefore the patent will not be granted. So you will have to be really normal. So we definitely have to identify the prior art in the particular context. So patent and non-patent, that is technical literature, can be even something that is said in a company announcement, not necessarily only in a technical journal publication, but anything that is announced. So general internet search for news items, articles, blogs, there's so much of chatter going on around every place. So identifying, consulting experts, physical search, you know, yet to be digitized library. You know, you'll be very surprised. I've never come across such a situation. About 2 years ago, one European patent attorney sent us a PhD thesis of a medical doctor. And that lady was a skin specialist. She was running a practice in Chennai. And she had done her PhD in Manipal. And he was desperate that we make a contact. So actually that also we had only found out. I don't know how we identified that PhD thesis. Maybe she had already published also. It was about 2-3 years ago. I don't really recall. But based on what we said, we actually got the entire thesis. And they were just going to put a product in the market. And they found that this PhD thesis would actually become a blog. Like FT voice, you know, maybe that. I don't know the exact details because, see, this line of patent literature, we are supposed to maintain utmost confidentiality and secrecy. We are not supposed to tell anyone what, because we work for a lot of big companies, consumer products area, electrical, electronics, food area. You will be surprised how much of work we do in the food area. So practically every domain we work, and we are supposed to keep our mouth shut. But I'm not giving you any technology details, so that's why I don't remember either now. So actually he was telling us, can you please make a contact with this doctor? And that's when we did the search on the internet, and we found that this lady was actually running a very successful practice in Chennai, and she was a skin specialist. So what I'm saying is, you see to what extent people go and what care they take. You know, he could have very well said that who is going to come after me? I mean, this doctor, I doubt if even doctors have that much knowledge and they go after people for infringement and all that. But the company in Europe which had hired the law firm had very categorically said that we want to talk to the doctor. Because even if that is her invention, they can still license it. You know, you must be thinking, oh, you know, she's talking all these things. Am I going to, where is the money going to come? Am I going to go to the market? But please remember, patents will really make you rich, not only through your own entry into the market. All you need to do is have a wonderful patent and just sit in AC room. Somebody will call you and say, I really like the work that you have actually written there, whatever you have invented. And let's talk, I will license you. So licensing is a multi-billion-dollar business. Don't think that many times all the features that we see in even, I'm again and again talking about smartphones because that is the most happening area today. So you don't know how many patents might have been actually licensed. All of them may not be owned by all these companies. They are all probably licensed. Sometimes even cross-licensing happens. Two big companies, if there is a gap in the technology, for this fellow, that gap is filled by a patent from another fellow and vice versa. They will actually cross-license it each other. And everything is done under very strict secrecy, and nobody even comes to know about how many dollars, how many millions of dollars actually exchange hands. You know, we will find a lot of information on the net, but I bet it's very, very difficult to really find out who licensed each other's patent. That's very pricey information. Even today, you know, there are actually database providers who charge a lot, but what I have found is they also do all these searches. They collect information and then they put it properly in a readable manner. You know, it's all not scattered, provided in one place, and they charge a bomb. But actually what they have also lacks the pricing information. You will never know how much money is exchanged. So licensing is also another possibility. And physical search may yet to be digitized library. I have even heard requests like, you know, that we understand that this technology is highly developed in Japanese, but we are told that it is residing in a library which is not digitized. Do you have contacts in Japan? Can someone actually go there, find out? So, especially in the international area, people are very, very scared about prior art spoiling their business opportunities. So, prior art search or state of the art. Today, what is the technology update? These are different things that provide different kinds of information. Patentability assessment. So, if you are going to file a patent, what is the assessment? Have you looked at the prior art? Actually, have you compared? Let's say your own invention has aspects A, B, C. You pulled out some 10 or 15 documents, whether it is technical literature or patents. So some people may have only A, some may have B, some may have A plus B plus C. So you have to actually open a table, create a table, say aspect A, aspect B, aspect C, what is there in which patent or document, and then you have to write a conclusion. So in your opinion, in your judgment, whether it is a patentable invention or not. We talked about freedom to operate. So validity, even if you have a valid patent, if you are blocking someone's entry to the market, it is still a concept called invalidating the patent. So see, everything is a prior art search. Even the examiner does a prior art search during prosecution. But still, like you know, in the previous slide we talked about undigitized, yet to be digitized libraries. Still there may be something sitting there out in the open, which somebody may pull up at some point of time and say, look, the patent office granted this patent wrongly, so this should be invalidated. So we do conduct a lot of invalidity searches, and we have helped our clients actually destroy prior art. Evidence of use, you know, these are all quite advanced and I don't think we have time. But again, you know, the mechanical engineering department here, even there's something called design registrations, design patents. Patents, their life is only 10 years, but if you are designing something very beautiful, only for the appearance and not for the utility. Because again, there are two kinds of patents, utility patents, design patents. If you have something, some shape or some design on this that is very, very beautiful, you can still file a patent, protect it and license it. You know, if it has an aesthetic appeal, there will be people to buy in the market. So somebody will buy the license and he will start manufacturing. And then patent watch. So there's this concept called patent alert or patent watch where constantly we also monitor when we are doing research about what are the new things that are happening on patent. So I think this is all a little advanced and going into that. But you know, this problem solution and citation I will talk about. See, any patent actually when we actually do make an invention, what is it actually? There is a problem that needs to be addressed, and your invention is actually providing a solution for that problem. So in the background section, when we start drafting the patent, first we have to write what was prior art, and then we have to say, when we are writing prior art, okay, you know, this problem was, this was the technology in this particular patent, yet there was a problem with this. Then some other inventor came, he addressed that problem, but when you address one problem, some other problem also crops up. That is how actually technology progresses. So just by this problem solution analysis, we can identify which were the problems that were existed prior to our invention. If not anything, even in your research project, you could actually do this. What were the various problems? What were the various solutions? So you might actually be able to identify a problem that nobody has addressed. Alternately, one problem may have one solution or one problem may have multiple solutions. So you might still be able to identify some solution that you would provide to identify the problem, to address the problem. And that solution that you develop may be something that is different from what others have